Hi, my name is John Oliver. I'm a senior here at Penn State, and I've created the Ultimate Trader Challenge this spring semester. So I was inspired to create this Ultimate Trader Challenge after listening to Kyle McDonald's story, the guy who traded the red paper clip to a house.
So the challenge started because I had seen the one red paper clip video and said, wow, you can move from something very simple of low monetary value to something of high monetary value. And sometimes those trades mean item to item, and sometimes it means item to activity. But the idea is what's valuable to me may not necessarily be of the same value to you, and finding out how to leverage that across time and finding out how to meet people's needs and wants. So plus it's fun. At the end you actually end up with more than you started with.
You have a submission due. That again. I'm Phil Boyer. I'm the director of the Engineering Entrepreneurship minor. We have several classes in the minor that are all entrepreneurship related. One of them is ENGR 310, which part of that, we have two classes this semester. Bob Beery and myself are both running the Ultimate Trader Challenge in our classes. So it's an 8-week session that we're doing with the kids, and we've had some remarkable stories.
As you know, everyone started off with the pen.
So I started out with the pen, as everyone did.
So from the beginning, started off with an original pen that they gave us, the 85% recyclable pen.
This is just it's a $1.25 pen from Penn State, stock. We bought them from Penn State and we provided it to every student. So my name is Liz Kissenweather. I'm in the College of Engineering, and I've been involved in entrepreneurship at Penn State for the last 13 years. So having this event happen is wonderful news. I would never have seen it possible even 5 years ago. So the idea for the challenge is to really ask the students to set a goal that they probably think isn't probably realizable as far as trade-ups, and go for it. And I think that's one of the things that entrepreneurs are really good at. They have vision and they take action.
For this Ultimate Trader Challenge, we gave our 118 participants a pen made of recycled plastic bottle to begin with, and we wanted all of them to have a goal in mind and use strategic trading to get to their goal in 8 weeks.
My goal is to get a functional 4x4 pickup truck.
And my end goal, because I'm in integrative arts, was to get the Adobe CS6 package. So that would include Photoshop, InDesign, Dreamweaver, etc., etc.
Sure. Well, the first Friday night when it started, I went ahead and just posted on my Facebook page. I have a lot of good friends at home that I knew would be willing to help me out, if not friends up here. And I posted it up what exactly I wanted to originally end with an iPod Touch after the 8 weeks. So I posted that as my goal, and I posted what I had with a picture with a pen.
I put an ultimate goal as a GoPro. It's kind of like an HD digital camera you can mount on your head. It's kind of more active sort of cameras. But I think with this trade, I'm kind of already over what that value is. So I'm ready to trade. There's really no limits. It's pretty fun. So.
Well, my original goal, it's kind of weird because I just had an obsession with it lately, but I was I want a nice little hookah and everything. But then I was my first trade, actually, I went downtown to a store called Jamaican Junction, and I was able to trade it for a mini hookah. The guy's really, really nice down there. And he was just he's not a lot of people come in, asking for things like that. He's I'll just give it to you.
That's
and I'm
great.
Okay. I'm that's pretty awesome. And that was the first day. So then after that, I decided that I should probably set my goal a little higher.
Right.
So I decided to do either an iPod Classic, because I have a lot of music, so I was that'd be really nice, or an iPad, because they would be really helpful in class.
Well, in the beginning, I wanted a plane ticket. I wanted to go to Colorado, because I've never been out west. But I think it's going to be really hard to find from here. I would say that I want I don't know, actually. Maybe a iPod or iPhone. An iPhone would be nice, but even smaller scale, I think would be cool.
My friend has an old beat up car that he's willing to maybe trade to me. I would need like a transmission and stuff like that, but it's pretty cool.
And so my ending goal was to get to like a computer tower because I want to like learn how to like run different softwares like run Lenovo and things like that, make a server. So like I don't want to try anything on my computer. So I want something that's like I don't really feel that invested towards.
Okay.
So like I posted things on Pittsburgh's Craigslist, and because Penn State, one thing I've learned is like a lot of things are getting spammed with the Ultimate Trader Challenge. So if you look at the bartering section, it's just everyone in this challenge.
Wow.
And then so it got to a point where I was like not that effective. Like you could go to the sub pages and like say post in electronics and or try to reach out to people, but it got to a point where it's like a lot of people on Craigslist are people in the challenge.
Right.
You get a lot of lowball offers, especially if you go on Craigslist. You get a lot of like people scamming you and things like that, and that's
Right.
kind of hard to sift through.
They're using all of their networks that they have available to them, the social networks, their individual, it might be through their fraternities or sororities, through Thon, all their different connections that they have here at the university and other universities.
So I started out with the Penn, as everyone did. Traded that for a foam finger, the foam finger for a desk lamp, the desk lamp for a Penn State magnetic dartboard. And then this is kind of when Craigslist came into play. I put that on Craigslist. And then I found a guy who had this foosball table he was getting rid of and would be willing to trade the magnetic dartboard. So that's how I got that. And then I found a guy who got a bunch of mini bikes on an auction. So I traded that for the mini bike. And now, fortunately, the mini bike didn't work, so I had to cut my losses. So I was trying to fix it. But then I got a guy interested to trade his air hockey table.
Only tip I can possibly give to people is just basically advertise yourself. I know myself, I put stuff out on Twitter, put stuff out on Facebook. Craigslist has kind of helped out a lot. I probably get emails like every once in a while, probably like a couple times a day just from Craigslist. So really just advertising and making sure you let people know what your product is and kind of keeping them up to date of like what things you're pushing out there and what things you've traded for too. So that's kind of helped myself out.
Being really active on Craigslist, offering people nonstop. I send out at least 15, 20 emails a day, and that's why I've been banned from Gmail 3 times on a 24-hour period. I wasn't allowed to use Gmail at all, so I had to like take a little break.
One of the things that we're hoping to come out of this is the skill of negotiating for entrepreneurs is not as high as it should be in a number of students. So we're hoping that we can, enhance that negotiating skill that's kind of lost. Everybody pretty much pays retail these days. So we're trying to teach them there are other ways to acquire things in startup organizations.
Well, my first trade was for a broken, custom-built, fake Fender Stratocaster, that black and yellow guitar. And I traded that with a friend who won it in a raffle and did not want it at all. So it was just sitting in his parents' living room and they were bugging him to throw it out. And so I was like, hey, I have a pen. Do you want the pen for the guitar since you're going to throw it out anyway? And he was like, yeah, why not? And then I brought the guitar to Rainbow Music, and they basically said it wasn't really worth much, but they offered me a Cahoon drum for it. And I posted the Cahoon drum on Craigslist, and within like 2 hours, someone messaged me on Craigslist. It turned out to be an artist in the local area that does custom paintings and offered me one of his paintings for it. And I found someone that liked the painting that was willing to trade a Charbroil camping grill. And so I traded the painting for the camping grill. And then the next move that I made was really strategic, I would say. I got 2 offers on Craigslist for the camping grill. One was a desk and the other was a fishing rod worth about $15 and a couple arrows. But the fishing rod had a unique history to it. So I called someone that I knew that collected U.S. military memorabilia and told him about the history of the bamboo rod. And he was really interested, and he's the one that offered me the Soviet night vision binoculars for the bamboo fishing rod. And that's when I accepted the bamboo fishing rod over the desk. So I didn't even accept like a trade for the grill until I already had somewhere for the bamboo fishing rod or desk to go. Most important thing I'd say I learned is strategy, like knowing, like pre-planning where your item is going to go before you even get the item, and also to not be disappointed in rejection.
I think we now have a cohort of students that have participated in this, and they know the value and the potential for this thing called bartering. Right, bartering is actually unrealized cash, but you're delivering services and providing things, and that is certainly an entrepreneurial thing. And often, when you're doing a bootstrap startup and you don't have cash, you can exchange your knowledge and skills and insights to help somebody else and get what you need. So I think bartering is an absolutely wonderful skill that every entrepreneur, a bootstrap entrepreneur, should know about. And we're making them do it, right? So it's not reading about it, we're making the students do it, and that's the value.
You know, it's really the classic marketing example of marrying what people want and what you have to offer. So finding that relationship is critical. We're constantly trying to get goods and services to people that want those goods and services, and hopefully a fair exchange of value. And typically we only do it with money, and this gives the students an ability to do it with something that doesn't have that monetary value associated with it.
Persistence overcomes resistance. So, just keep pushing, go through it, and keep trying, and eventually you'll get some breakthrough, because that's what happened with me.
So like there's a lot of Facebook groups in there, and just like be a little creative in this sense, because a lot of people, the first thing like, so what can I trade for this? And then you have to like help people more than you thought do it, because if they're like trying to get your object, you think they have something in mind, but a lot of people are just like, oh, that's something I'm interested in, what do I have to give you? And so like you have to be patient with people, which I really learned. So you have to talk to them, be like, well, I'm not sure what you have, but there's something that's just unique, or something that's an electronic, something that maybe someone else may want that you're willing to give, because a lot of people are just like, I don't have anything, but you have to like pry it out of them.
You just have to be persistent and just kind of use all your avenues and all your options. Go to clubs, go to meetings, just whatever you can find.
Among us is a lot of wonderful traders that have been, putting in a lot of effort in this challenge. So for this award, we have Michelle Matheson as a winner.
And then my final trade was a 34-inch flat screen TV. So I got farther than I thought I would, especially when I had the stuffed animal. I was losing hope, but it turned out really well, and it was really fun.
And I waited until Sunday when I had to get a trade done. And I was like, all right, I got to get a trade done. So I went to my roommate real quick. I'm like, yeah, do you have anything you don't want? Like, I'll give you a pen. He gave me a water bottle. I like walked down the hall real quick. Like, yeah, does anyone need a water bottle? Kid had like extra headphones. Got the headphones, put the headphones online right after that. And then I'm getting emails about the headphones. And then like, took me 2 hours, and already up to I was up to MP3 player. Then it just kept rolling after that, I didn't realize how easy it was till I started.
Great story. And here's our top winner for the Ultimate Trading Challenge. We have Joe Marcus, who traded up to a Ford F-250 pickup truck.
There's the title.
I would love to do this challenge again. It was a lot of fun. It kept me occupied, so I didn't really, during downtime where normal people would just complain about being bored, I was spending hours on Craigslist offering people, I've been banned from Gmail 3 times for spamming out too many emails to people. That's something I didn't even know was possible to happen. And my parents, their initial reaction was they were kind of annoyed, actually, that I accomplished getting the pickup truck, because now they have to pay insurance for another car. But I convinced them to get on board with it, and they're really excited and just in disbelief that I actually pulled it off. Because when this challenge started and I told them I wanted to get a pickup truck for my dad, it was kind of those 5-year-old telling the parents I want to be an astronaut type things, like, okay, we'll support you, but it's just a dream, don't be disappointed when you fail. And when I didn't, they just were amazed.